All right, welcome back. It's time for us to bring you our talking point. And just like Salamatu said, we're taking a look at National Assembly Crisis, Principles of Separation of Powers on trial.
Well, members of the Nigerian Senate and the House of Representatives are now on recess and following adjournment to July 21, 2015 by the chambers of the National Assembly.
Well, before the adjournment, some aggrieved All Progressives Congress APC lawmakers protested that the leaders of the two chambers' refusal to read the letter sent by the national chairman of their party was not right.
Now, the letter allegedly contains the names of lawmakers who should occupy the position of principal officers of the Senate and the House.
In fact, this led to a show of shame at the House, where members turned the floor to a boxing ring.
Well, we have extensively discussed this on this show. Discussed on the show of shame last week and what the position of the law is. But on this Monday, we will be discussing the alleged threat of the crisis to the principle of separation of powers in Nigeria's democracy.
Now, what does the principles of separation of powers imply? What role does it play in stabilizing democracy?
Should the executive or the parties be overbearing to the extent of not allowing members in the National Assembly not to freely elect and choose their leaders?
Well, we're joined this morning by former chairman of Labour Party, Chief Dan Nwanyanwu. He is a former chairman of the Labour Party, like I said, and former Board of Trustees, chairman, Labour Party. Okay. I've repeated this like 3 times already.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nwanyanwu. It's nice to have you join us.
My pleasure.
Now, the crisis in the National Assembly, it's one that will not go down without hearing your own thoughts. Last week we saw how the members of the House of Representatives, there was a rowdy session and, they wanted the Speaker to read a letter from the party, which of course the Speaker refused. Well, that event was something that just happened, it's like an accumulated event had happened and accumulated on that day, to that rowdy session we saw on that day. How would you describe the role of the leadership of the APC in the National Assembly crisis?
I think the whole thing was premeditated, what happened last week, and I think it's a shame. During the inauguration, not before the inauguration, they had a retreat before inauguration. I was privileged to speak with a lot of members of the House of Representatives as they were elected in Transcorp. I took time that evening. I spoke with more than 50 of them. I took time. And I must tell you that the quality of representation has gone down. There are people in that house today who have no business going there. They just keyed in the mantra of change and they got elected. So we should expect boxers, we should expect wrestlers, we should expect all manner of characters in the Federal House of Representatives, unlike the immediate past House of Representatives. So that is the first thing. Who are those that are in the House of Representatives? So when you see them practicing judo, karate and all that, don't be surprised. We're going to have more of that. But apart from that, you see, the problem the APC leadership has failed to understand is that what you have in the National Assembly today is not in pari material. It's not the same with what you had the last time. They have very small margin above the PDP. So and that's why it will not be easy for them to pull everything they plan to pull without the cooperation of the PDP. Take for example the Senate. The difference between their seats is just 10. APC lost one of them died. That's now 9. So tell me what you do with 9 senators if you don't cooperate with the other group. And that was what Saraki saw and cashed on it. And of course, between Lawal and Saraki, the main PDP would like to deal with Saraki. He's more accessible. They can deal with him. They can do business with him. They don't understand Lawal because of his backing. Lawal didn't lose because he's not good. Lawal is an astute senator, highly experienced, very good man, but he's lost because of his sponsorship. Badjabi Amila lost because of his sponsorship. Badjabi Amila, I can say, may be one of the best in the Federal House of Representatives today. He has experience as a lawyer, he's well grounded, but he lost.
Because of what sponsorship?
Because of those backing him. That's what I mean by sponsorship.
Which is the leadership of the FCC.
Of course. If you can't find people in the House of Representatives, I'm sure Badjabi Amila will come in the first three. He's very grounded in the House. We outside, we see them, we know them, we interact with them. So you can see that from where you're coming may affect Nigerians tapping on your experience and what you know. So these are some of the problems you are going to have in the House. So, and that was why I said, what has happened in two houses, and I'm quoting myself again, is a bitter pill which the APC leadership must have to swallow, no matter how painful it is. One, the reason why the present National Assembly wanted to be independent is because of this cardinal principle of separation of powers. They have looked at all the candidates and they have seen Saraki, for example. Saraki is independent-minded. I don't think he will go anywhere to take instructions. He will face his colleagues and look at the laws and the bills that will come to the House and treat them appropriately. He is economically independent. And these are factors that we have to consider. He will not take instructions, and that's why they didn't want him. And there was this argument of being ambitious. This argument of he can be trusted. That is very low. If Saraki was not going to be trusted, you trusted him when they put the new PDP into the group and gave teeth to that group, which got into their victory. So everybody was trusted because we were all fighting to drive PDP away. Now that we have won, so let us separate the new PDP from the others. Don't forget there are different groups in that APC. You have the CN, you have the NPP, you have the CPC, you have the ABGA. In fact, not ABGA, Rochas or Korocha, took risk. Very few politicians will not do that based on where he's coming from. He came from a place where people did not even believe in it. So he took risk and threw himself into that group, sustained it, and came back. So nobody's even talking about him. Then you see the new PDP that came with 5 governors. You see, the truth is that some of us did not take that group seriously until the new PDP got in there. So if they had not come, that party would have ended as a regional party. They are the one that turned it all over.
Okay.
So the point is, let us not overheat the system. There are a lot of arguments. I started hearing over the weekend. There was even an attempt to arrest Saraki outside the National Assembly. There's an attempt to abduct him. Let them not try it. You see, we have passed party politics. We're no longer campaigning. I had it over the weekend that by the time he leaves one of these days from the National Assembly, they'll pick him up.
Is there evidence to back up this kind of claims?
I have no evidence. Okay. But you see, this is must be brought to fore. So that if they have that intent, they better drop it. Saraki is no longer a property of APC. As seated as Senate President. Is now the Senate President of the Federal Republic of
Nigeria. You have talked about the principle of separation of powers.
Yes.
And of course, we do know that the National Assembly, as it is, of course, has its allegiance to Nigeria as a nation and not necessarily to any party. But it doesn't change the fact that these men are politicians, those who occupy the National Assembly, these men are politicians, and there are those who are faithful, who seem to be more faithful to party, because during that rowdy session we saw House of Rep members who said that party loyalty is more important than anything else. They rode on the back of the party to become honorable members, and so they cannot abandon the party at this time. The insistence that the speaker should read the letter sent by the leadership of the APC was just basically it. And of course, according to other members and legal practitioners who we have interviewed here, there is nowhere in the Constitution or anywhere in the rules of the House or of the National Assembly that says you must read a letter from the leadership of any of the party. Now, bearing this in mind, what exactly do you think that Dogara should do at this point? Because it looks like there will be need for discipline, if possible, considering that there was also an attempt to take the mace away. Should there be any kind of disciplinary sanction or actions taken against?
You see, first of all, I am a believer in party supremacy. I've said that in this program before. I've been advocating for party supremacy. But a political party must know where to draw the line. Party supremacy doesn't mean that you have to dictate to another arm of government on what they should do when they sit there, as like the National Assembly. Yes, Dogara is from APC, Saraki is from APC, Muduma is from APC. There is we have caucuses in the National Assembly. And that's the problem they have, which I mentioned earlier. They don't have the comfortable majority to deal with issues. And that's the problem they're going to have. They will attempt to muzzle Dogara. That was the first test. We may be expecting more of that. But he was very calm. And he had senator members around him. But he was very calm. So they will attempt to do that. This happened in the House of Representatives that actually had all the members in session before the election. And Gajabiyamila lost by 8 votes, am I correct? 8 votes. And yet, they have not accepted his leadership. So it is not a question of reading a letter to the House. They must have an arrangement. And that's why I say it's a failure in leadership. A leadership of a political party must hold its members firmly right from the point of nomination. I don't think there was an interaction. In the Labour, when I was in the Labour Party, you bring your file on your own, you must interact with the party leadership. You have to see through your heart. We have to remove the veil on your face. It is not enough for you to get nomination, win election and do what you like. I had expected also after the nomination, you bring them into a small meeting. You tell them the do's and the don'ts in the party. You must start from day one. When the politician has gotten what he wanted, he sings a different song, no matter how good he is. Most of the politicians. But as at the point that he's looking for that thing, he can do anything. But let him get it. So that's what I'm saying, that it depends on the leadership, what they're doing. But it has gotten to a point that you can no longer continue to, insist that certain things be done in a particular manner. That is why I suggested in one of the programs. I said, look, let DPC leadership call everybody. And of course, the president has to intervene now.
Now, talking about the president intervening now,
yes.
The APC had wanted the president to intervene and, of course, impose the candidate they wanted on the House. We saw the APC governors visit the president last week to solicit his support and, his intervention into the crisis. But that has not happened. Now, is this not a threat to the principle of separation of powers?
No, that's what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is, even now, the hands of the president is tied.
How so?
It's tied because President Muhammad Buhari cannot change what is in existence now. He cannot tell Saraki to resign and he will resign. I will not resign. I have been duly elected. So what is President Buhari expected to do? Summon all the National Assembly members with the party leadership. Look, enough is enough. We have made our mistakes. This is the situation. We are in the same party. Those that are aggrieved, I'll find a way to sort it out. This, that, money, and then it's sorted. That is the leader of the party talking. Even though they say he's not the leader. But I don't know any other leader. Because once a president has emerged in a political party, he's the political head of that political party.
Now, if that is what is best for the president to do, is the leadership of the party, because really we're still talking about the leadership of the party. You also described it as a bitter pill, the emergence of Saraki and the emergence of Dogara as a bitter pill for the APC to swallow. And if the APC refuses to accept these men, you know, in the capacity for which they have been elected, what then happens? And the president has said that he's willing to work with anyone who emerges. The party is saying otherwise.
If APC refuses to recognize them, as I said in a sister station, it will be like salt losing its taste, or the tree that has refused to bear good fruits. And of course, you know what happens. There is nothing you can do on this matter. Unless Saraki on his own and Dogara on their own say, okay, enough is enough, let me throw in the towel. If they insist, which they are likely to insist, there is nothing. You're only going to frustrate the president, who may be delayed from, you know, performing his functions and, you know, giving democratic dividends to the people. Let them not push this too far, because our democracy is still nascent. They cannot continue to hold the nation to ransom. We want President Buhari to keep the ground running, and he cannot do so when the National Assembly is not yet settled. They have no choice over the matter. There's no way you can reinvent the wheel under the present circumstance. Get them back. You made the mistake by having a mock election, which I never expected. I wouldn't have done that as a party leader. When there are two strong forces interested in that position, what am I expected to do? Try to push, convince one over the other. They don't agree. You bless two of them, they would have all come back to the leadership, because they've tried. But you took a position, created an impression that one is hated, one is not liked. You prefer one to the other, and now he has won. You are now pushing. The president has an option of talking to everybody. He has told Nigerians, he told Nigerians that he can work with anybody, and I think he should work with them. He will get that comfortable majority to operate. APC leadership has to accept it. That is the truth. You cannot change it. That is what is. I don't know what will be later. But what is now is what you have to work with, so that Nigeria can move. Look at what Nigerians are reacting. Go to the social media, and as if nothing is moving, as if President Buhari just wanted power and he didn't know what to do with it. That is not true. So they must have to come together and then allow the president. We are waiting for the president to start implementing those policies. $1, 1 naira, 45 naira petroleum price, 5,000 naira to every unemployed. These are the things we're expecting.